welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hi, my name's Susannah. Welcome to Susannah's Kitchen. We make all of our recipes on this channel using the Ninja Foodi, and today's is no exception. I'm making a delicious pasta sauce with a bit of a twist. So this is a Sicilian-style pesto using pistachios. We're going to get some lovely basil in there, some garlic, some lemon juice, olive oil, and we're also going to be roasting tomatoes to make the most delicious fresh pasta sauce, which is ideal for this time of year, those summer months where we just want that something a bit lighter, a bit fresher, but we still want to cook. Of course, you can cook your pasta on the hob or you can cook it in your Ninja, but today I'm just showing you how to make the sauce, and this is chef's kiss. You're gonna love it. I've got my Ninja on sear and saute, and this is going to work exactly the same way as if you were using a dry pan on your hob. I want to toast my nuts. So as I said, I'm making this with pistachio nuts that I've got here. I didn't quite have the full quantity, and I had some pine nuts, which obviously are a more traditional ingredient for basically making a pesto. So I thought there's no reason why I can't use a bit of both. So you can do the same if you want. If you prefer all pine nuts and you don't want to use pistachios, totally up to you. This is going to make a good portion here. I think this is probably going to feed around 6. So we're just going to toast those, and the reason we're toasting those in a dry pan like this is just so they go lightly golden, and it just lets out their fragrance as well. So just give these 3 or 4 minutes. You'll know when they're starting to colour, get a little bit toasty. Whatever you do, don't walk away and burn them though. I mean, I have done that on numerous occasions with pine nuts. I've still eaten them though, because I absolutely love pine nuts. They are so delicious. They're a little bit on the expensive side, unfortunately, but a lot of the nuts are actually now in your supermarkets. But I think this dish is totally worth it because it is fresh and vibrant and perfect for summer. Perfect. We have got them. You can see it more on the pine nuts, but they are nice and golden on one side. And I would suggest that you actually remove the whole pot because there's quite a lot of heat that stays in there if not, and we don't want to burn them. You can see the difference in the colour there if I show you up close. There you go. Beautifully golden, and they smell amazing. Now in my blender here, you can use blender, food processor, whatever you've got. You're going to want around 30 grams of fresh basil. You want to probably not use the larger stalks. Some of the smaller stalks are absolutely fine in here. And then also 15 grams of fresh mint leaves as well. And that's going to give you the most beautiful fresh flavour. Next thing to do is to grab your lemon, and we want a whole lemon and we want to juice that. So give it a good squeeze and get that juice out of there as much as you possibly can. So I want to add most of my nuts to the food processor here, the blender. So just carefully adding those in. Okay, so I'm just going to hold back a few. We want to add the lemon juice into the blender with all of that. Forgot to mention, I have got a clove of garlic in here. You'll need 6 tablespoons of water. Add that in as well. And also extra virgin olive oil. And we want 50 millilitres. So I'm just going to measure out like this. 15, 30, 45. And a little bit. Now the oil's just gonna obviously make it really rich and tasty. The water's gonna help because if not, it takes a lot of oil to make a pesto, so it just makes it a little bit lighter, a few less calories as well. So we can get the lid on and let's go and give this a good pulse. Give that a little shake, put it back on. Let me show you inside what we've got. Whoa, look at that. beautifully, well, it's pistachio green, it really is. Look at that, incredible, just so nice. Once you've got to this stage, I like just to add it into a bowl because I just find it easier. I add grated Parmesan, and I'm being quite generous with this because remember we're going to have those roasted tomatoes with this as well, which will take away from some of the richness, but it all just balances and goes really well together. So 25 grams of Parmesan cheese. Oh, yes. Now look at that. Now it is cheesy as well. Most beautiful pesto. You can see this makes a really decent portion. If you feel once you've got the Parmesan then in there, it's a little bit thick, you can just add a little bit more lemon juice, a little bit more oil, a little bit more water, whatever your choice is. And you can just make that a little bit looser if needed. But of course, when you cook your pasta, you can always just leave a little bit of pasta water behind, and that helps loosen it as well. Excuse the mess. I am going to clear up in a minute. Look at the mess I make. What I'm going to do with these nuts, because I don't want them as chunky as that. You can leave them as chunky as that if you want. But I like to just give them a little chop. And then I think they are really nice to go over your pasta. Like this. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the colours there. So yeah, I think that's really nice to have those as a little dusting to go over the pasta once that is ready. So let's put them to one side and we can leave those until a little bit later. Now let's roast our tomatoes. One thing I did completely forget to do was to season this. So you're probably going to want to taste it, see what seasoning you think it needs. I like a fair amount of black pepper in mine. In my Ninja pot that I've got here, Ninja dish, I'm going to put my tomatoes. So I've had a lot of tomatoes that I've grown. So these have come out of my garden and these are more than ready to use. So perfect in this dish. I haven't grown a lot of vegetables this year actually. I have literally done tomatoes, peas and some herbs. So very basic because I've just been a bit busy doing other things really. But that's all good. It's nice to still have these, and definitely a lot more tomatoes to come as well. Love a homemade tomato sauce for different pasta dishes, but this is really nice just to have these kind of chunky and running through with that pesto. Really enjoy pasta like that. So I am just taking them all off of the vine. You're going to want a fair amount of tomatoes. I'm just weighing these, about 450 grams of tomatoes I'm using here. Going to lower those into the Ninja. Use a little bit of my olive oil on those as well because that's going to be really nice with those. Going to keep them very basic. The flavour of these, I mean even the smell, my hands literally smell of tomatoes where I've picked those out of the garden. I'm now going to decide, do I bake them? Do I air fry them? Decisions. I don't think it really matters either way what you choose to do. I'm going to go with air fry. One of the reasons for choosing air fry is basically that more of you that watch my videos are probably going to have air fry. So why not air fry? 180, and let's see how long they take. I cooked my tomatoes for 10 minutes, and if you can see here, they are squidgy and soft, and that is just how I want them. So they're firm enough that they're holding together, but they're nice and soft. Of course, if you want to do yours less or you want to do yours more, you do them how you like them. But for me, this is just right, and that is going to be beautiful through some pasta with that pesto. Now I chose to cook my pasta on the hob because I was using the Ninja for something else this evening, but you can definitely cook your pasta in your Ninja if you want to. I'm just going to add a dollop of this, give it a stir through and see how much I feel we need. So there's just two of us having this pasta tonight. Oh, the smell of this is so good. A little bit more, I think. And then I can add in some of my roasted tomatoes. Bear in mind, this pesto, I think, feeds 6 people because it is a lot of it. Get those juices from the tomatoes into there. Look at that. Really nice veggie dinner, this one. I've been quite generous with the tomatoes because I've got them, to be honest, but you don't need to put quite as many in as I have. And if you don't want this to be veggie and you want to add something else, you could do some crispy bacon in here. That would be nice. You can add extra parmesan on the top, but I think I'm ready to serve. Here is my beautiful pasta. I'm going to top it with those crushed extra nuts that we had. Do you remember we had those earlier? And that just gives it a really nice bit of texture. Got a few little baby basil leaves to add over the top. And then, of course, some extra parmesan as well, just a little bit, because we have got plenty in that sauce. Gorgeous veggie dinner. I think everyone's going to enjoy this one. Let me know if you give it a go.